So we've been following along the series. We've been doing the Zhan Zhuang Qigong at the moment, and so if you haven't, if it's this first one you've done for a while, the classes, so the class before we did the exercises before, I think we've been doing two, I think we started last Thursday and we did Tuesdays and we've done today's, and so we've done the Zhan Zhuang Qigong, we're up to, I think we're up to 4 or 5, I think, exercise 5. Which is 3 body postures, and what we've been doing is going over the detail of each of the exercises and a little bit more about how the movement happens inside the body for the exercise. And we've been doing the whole series that goes right back. If you have a look at the library, you'll see that we've gone right back from the Shirbo Shir, which was a few months ago, and we've been going through each of them for a while now. So that's what we're up to today. I love it when I do that exercise with my neck, when I'm doing the turtle exercise, which is the going forward and backwards. That exercise, when it goes that way, if you see it from the side, it looks like that. Go that way, and then go the other way and go under and over. When I do that, my ears, the sound of my ears changes. I'm not sure what on earth that's happening inside my eardrum, but inside my neck that's creating that, I do not know. But I notice it changes the sound for some reason. It must have something to do with the vertebrae in my neck and the spinal nerves coming out of my neck somewhere, I don't know. Either that or I'm just weird. I'll go with the weird one. These are great exercises to do in the mornings, especially I know some people in the UK, people are watching this and it's in the morning. These are great exercises to do because you've been lying on your pillow all night and your heads pretty much haven't been moving. So it's really good to activate all the muscles and ligaments in your head when you wake up in the morning. And it's like, when we wake up in the morning and go, oh, it's actually a really good thing. Both is that you're opening the jaw, but the other thing is you stretch your body, you open your body up. So we do it without even realizing we do it for other reason. But it's certainly a good thing to get it all functioning, because especially if we have any time in front of computers during the day, it's good to have your neck muscles all nice and loose and stretched. Very good. We'll do our shoulders. Do our arms. Mark H., do you have any questions for me today?
No, not yet.
Oh, that's good. I'm really happy. I had to go and I used my old computer as a monitor for this, and the speakers had gone on it, so I could hardly hear you. That's why I always had to come forward. So I just got them replaced with some aftermarket speakers, so I can actually hear you today. So it's actually quite a good thing. Otherwise, I've got to go way up there to listen to you, but I can hear you from back here now. So finally, having speakers that work. Well, they were working. You just couldn't hear anything. It was a bit muffled. See, I knew you had one. That's why I asked. You see, I just knew. Can go.
So when I was at a gathering when my cousin got married, my uncle, who's 11 years older than me, his memory's starting to go. So I'm wondering if something like sage resents age will help him
Right.
So I'm wondering if, and like he's been like a very smart person his whole life, and just maybe in the last year or so, it seems like he's not remembering things like about a week ago.
Right.
I'm wondering if like something like Sage Presents Peach, if he would do that for like 5 minutes a day,
Yeah.
would help him recover that sort of memory that's becoming pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, absolutely. So we know the memory's got to do with the spleen. The spleen's to do with cognitive thinking. And if he's been a bright guy and he's used his mind a lot in his life, then he could have burnt out a bit of his spleen chi. So the spleen chi might be a bit low, and that's part of the memory, the whole thing, memory. If your spleen chi is really strong, your memory's really good. So I would imagine it's got something to do with that. So not only doing spleen exercises, besides the one you mentioned about, I would do rowing the boat in the middle of the lake as well, rolling with the waves. They're both of them, both spleen exercises. And then I'd get into the spleen food. You have the charts for all the food, so get them the spleen food, send them the spleen food chart to eat all those foods. And there's a whole lot of spleen formulas that you can use. The formula would be for the spleen for him, but what you said just then, would be Guipi Tang, and that's Guipi Tang, T-A-N-G, Guipi Tang. And that'll be a really good Chinese formula for him to take, and you'll find it'll make a big difference for his memory. Of course, when you get a bit older, sometimes it just goes anyway, and there's not a lot you can do about it, but you can still get the best of what you've got with the memory by those herbs. Will make a huge difference. Yep. So anyway, try that. And if you forget, you can always go back. So that's why I spelt it, so you can go back and watch the video again if you can't remember. Yep.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I had someone just the other day with exactly this. They were having trouble remembering things. She was an older woman, and she was having all the classic spleen symptoms. She had all sorts of digestive problems going on. One of the things, you bruise really easy when you get spleen chi deficient. You can bump yourself and you just bruise really simple if it's spleen chi deficiency, because the spleen, one of its functions, the energy of the spleen, I'm not talking about the spleen, little spleen organ, I'm talking about the two big spleen meridians. One of their functions, the spleen chi meridians, is to hold the blood in the vessels. So you have a big blood vessel, and the spleen chi holds it in the vessel. It's what it does. And so when the spleen chi is weak, you bump the blood vessel, it seeps out. The blood seeps out, and that's why you get bruising under the skin. That's one of the classic symptoms. Another classic spleen chi symptom, besides memory loss, short-term memory loss, which is a classic one for it, would be alternating stools. You get a hard stool and a soft stool, hard stool, soft stool, or you just get soft stools that can come from spleen chi deficiency. You get food going through your body, coming out the other end, not digested properly. That's a spleen chi deficiency sign. Heavy limbs is another spleen chi. You feel like your arms and legs are really heavy. So if people have had that or know what that is. If you've never had that symptom, you know it's a hard thing to know. But if you've had it, you'll know exactly what I just said then. It's just this feeling like your arms and legs are these big clubs. It's classic spleen chi deficiency sign. The spleen's in charge of the four limbs. So then you have this lack of energy in the four limbs. Anyway, that's the spleen anyway. But the big thing is the memory loss. Your cognitive thinking's not good. You're not sharp anymore. You forget things. You get muddled thinking. Things aren't as clear as they used to be, not just memory. Yep. Spleen time of the day it's in the morning, between 9 and 11. 9-11 spleen time. And so that's the best time to have meetings, because that's when your mind's got most of the energy in it. There you go. Best time for meetings. Or planning. If you're going to plan things, that's the best time to do it. There you go. The spleen. Spleen's a big player in the body. Back. Go side to side. We're doing a lot of stretching today. We're going to do, well, we're not stretching, but we're going to do a lot of stretching because the exercise today has a lot of pelvic movement and a lot of hip movement, as we know. Very cool exercise. The three body posture and Bagua, the two of these exercises in the Zhan Zhuang Qigong, they're very similar, but they're very, very potent exercises. but not necessarily easy to do. Cool. Feel my hips. And last week, there was lots of strange energy in the world last week. For those who are energy people, last week it was a strange things happening in the bigger picture last week. It was a funny about Wednesday, Thursday. So there were some weird occurrences either happened to you or people around you. Had some funny things happen. That's what it was. I don't know. Hello, Gigi. Hello. Who's that? It's your mother. She's a great dog. We go swimming together. I think I've mentioned that before. We go down the beach. She likes swimming. She swims out in the sea with me. She's great. She's very cool. She's a cool dog. Cool. Oh, you're back again. She's a Kintamani. She's a particular dog that comes from this particular island here. And they're not like the rest of the Bali dogs. They're quite different. But she's got a beautiful character. She's a very friendly, happy dog. She thinks my son's got food, so she's following him around. Do you want to come and say hello? You can come and say hello. My son's just come home from school. Say hello.
Hello.
Very, very cool. That's Mark. So,
Oh, and did you know, actually I got a cut.
you got a cut, Raina? Mm-hmm. Come over here. You won't be able to hear. Come over here. You won't be able to hear. So say, I got a cut on my hand.
I got a cut on my hand, you know.
Yeah, how did you get the cut, Raina?
Oh, I fell off my bike.
You fell off your bike. Going round and round a tree, weren't you? Yeah, good boy.
And then I actually made the curve
Yeah.
too short, and then I
Yes.
hit into the tree.
You did. You ran into a tree. As we do. I mean, how many kids haven't whacked into a tree when they were young? Wouldn't be too many, would there? When he did it, when Mum and I had a conversation with him about our own bike accidents we've had in our own lives, and Josephine's been over the front of her bike. I stuck my toe in the front wheel one day and just about took half the toe off and just went through and stopped the bike front wheel and went flying over the top. We've all had the bike accidents. Well, I shouldn't say we all. I've had a bike accident. I've had more than one. That was just one I can remember. I've had a few. The dreaded bike falls. The trouble is these bikes these days can go pretty fast too, so that's not a good thing either.
Does my grader wear a helmet when he rides?
Yep. Yeah, no, he wears a helmet. Well, he wears a helmet here in Bali, and he's the only one with one on. They don't wear bike helmets here. They don't wear motorcycle helmets here, so it's okay. Well, if they go on the bypass, they do, but quite often they're driving around the streets here, they don't. If they're just driving around locally in their own area, they don't usually wear helmets. Yeah. Heavens, they carry babies around on their bikes. They carry babies, holding the baby while they're driving around on the scooter. I've seen men driving around holding babies with one arm, driving the scooter with the other arm. No joke. I mean, in our country, look at that and go, whoa, okay, you get arrested if you do that in New Zealand. For legs, it's just common. They hold the baby up while they're driving around so the baby can see. I love that. It's just so cool. I know, it's not cool. It's not cool. It's really dangerous. But I think it's cool that they are okay with that. And they have the kids on their bikes from really, really young ages. But this driving around with your helmet onto your baby, my God. Very different culture. But when you see it for the first time, if you've never seen a mother holding onto the baby driving around with a scooter, it's a bit of a shock. I'm not sure. I imagine in America you're not allowed to do that either. Drive around holding your baby in your arms, let alone driving your scooter with the other arm. I love it.
Yeah, I think in America, but like you have to have safety seats in your car. You can't even put the baby in the regular seat.
Yeah, no, they have, no, same New Zealand. You can't. It has baby seats, and they have to be approved baby seats, and it has to be a particular way. If they're a certain age, they've got to be facing one way, and a certain age, they've got to be facing the other. You can never have them in the front seat, and the passenger seat in the front. They've always got to be in the back. There's really stringent rules on it. I like it, the one with the... I mean, it fascinates me. I like the one where the mum and the dad have helmets on, they're holding the baby without a helmet on, or the young kid doesn't have the 10-year-old or the 5-year-old on the bike doesn't have a helmet, but the parents do. Oh, I think that's great. As I say, it's just a different culture here. It's just really different. But I said, if you carried a baby around in New Zealand on a bike, and the mother and father on the bike carrying a baby, they'd be arrested. In New Zealand, there would be so many people would dob them in. They'd be ringing the police to tell them. They would just be. They wouldn't be able to get away with that too long. My God, they'd just go crazy. We get too far down the road for doing that. That's for sure. So we'll bow away and we get into it. Roll back onto your thumbs. Left hand underneath, right hand on top. Go. Bring it towards your heart and then down to your physical centre. Very cool. So, through body posture. This exercise is done on two sides, because part of it goes this way and part of it goes that way. So the first piece of it is we're going to step off, and I'll step off, I'll mirror you, so I'll do it the other way. So we're going to step off. The first thing we do is we step off on our foot, our heel, and then we lower our toe to the ground. So when we're standing in this posture, the whole time we're doing this, there's no weight in the front foot. There's only weights in the back foot. So we start off with a double weighted. We change the weight onto the. At this stage we're going to change our weight onto the left foot. Step off with your right, and it goes heel toe, and the foot's sitting on the ground, but there's no weight in it. It's just completely empty. Yeah, there's the foot sitting on the ground. Can you just go back out from a bit, just because they'll be able to see my feet? Yeah. So you just got your foot on the ground, and there's no weight. So all the weight's in the back leg. Now we know when we're standing that, and we stand on our kidney point. We stand on our muscles. We have our knees slightly bent, so we're not standing on our heels. We don't want to be standing on our bones. We want to stand on the muscles. As soon as you stand on the muscles, all the muscle initiates all the meridians, the energy in the meridians, and they start moving. If you stand on your bones, it initiates pathways inside the bones, but not the muscles. Well, we want the muscles engaged because we want the 12 meridians engaged. So we're standing on two kidney points, and then we're going to change it to one kidney point, and then we're going to step off of the other point. Now the point's on the ground, but there's no weight in it, it's just sitting there. And so all the weight's on the back kidney point. And the toes are all the meridians that come out of the toes, all the well points of the toes. Now how you do is you grip the ground and then you slightly relax the toes. So the toes are touching the ground, and the main focus is on the meridian, it's on the yang shrine itself, the kidney 1 it's linked to the ground. So I'm standing on the kidney 1 point, the toes are touching the ground, this point's just, the other foot's just resting there, so the energy's not going through that foot. It's connected, but because we're engaged all the muscles on this foot, this is where all the energy is coming up just one foot. And it starts with the hands, that idea, and we're facing off towards the quarter. So if we think of north to the front and west and east either side, we're going to the northeast or the northwest, whichever way it is for you. And we're going into the quarter. So if you used a clock idea with 12 o'clock in the front and 9 o'clock's one side and 3 o'clock's the other, you're going to go to 10:30 or you go to 1:30. Yep. And we're going to face that. And that foot faces off that direction. The back foot, of course, is still facing towards the front, still facing towards north or the 12 o'clock. This one's gone off to the side. Yep. So the foot's there, and our body turns around to face that direction. Now, our hands, both hands, palms are facing towards the front. Now this hand's not a high hand, it's about just underneath your eye, so you can look over the top of your hand. The bottom hand's facing towards that way. Yeah, so we don't want the hands one up, one hand one up and one down. They're both going towards the front. When your posture of your arms, I'll turn around this way so you can see this, I'm actually facing you. So when I'm facing this way, it looks like that. What I don't want to do is I don't want to bring the elbows up, and I don't want them crushed inside my body, like that. But in this particular one, you're going to bring the elbow down slightly, but I don't want you to bring it right round so it's like that. You don't want to do that in this. What we want to do is bring it out slightly, so it goes from that to there. Yeah? We have this idea, both palms facing towards the front this way, and this one's sitting underneath it. And that's the posture. Relax your shoulders, both shoulders, relax your shoulders, and feel like the energy is travelling around the back of your neck and back to the other arm. So it's travelling all the way around the back. Back to this arm, and you have that idea of the both arms. You can feel that both arms are moving, so they're actually linked together. Cool. Okay. So we go to the side. We hold that posture that way. Now, when we're inside the posture itself, our bottom is tucked forward, so our bum's tucked forward, our pelvis is tucked forward. So you don't want to be sitting there. I'll just show you this one too. So I'll go to the side. I'm sitting there like that. What I don't want to do is be sticking my bum out like that. How good is it? I'm not sure how you can see that. I think so. We're bum that way, like that. You don't want to be sitting like that. Even looks funny if I do. You don't want to be sitting like that. You want to tuck your bum under and come forward, so your back's nice and straight, and you tuck your pelvis underneath on the one leg you're standing on. Tuck it forward, and then relax. So that'll straighten up the lower vertebrae in your back. Bring your chin back, and I'm looking directly towards the front, looking through the hands. I'm looking past the hands into the distance. Yep. So they're the main points, and the other part will be is bring your chin back. So we're stepping off to the side. Posture like that, tuck your bum underneath, standing on your kidney points, bring your chin back, look at the conscious space out that way. Yep, so pull your chin back and be looking out, don't look down at the ground. Don't look at your hands, look past your hands. Very good. And so when we move from there, we change postures. We stay where the back foot doesn't change at all, it's just the arms moving. This arm comes up, and the other one goes, and we go right around to the side. And now both of them are facing towards the back, and I'm still looking past my hands, and one hand's facing up. They're both facing out still, and I'm looking towards the back. Yeah. And what's happened in my hip is I've gone from here, and I'm sitting on top of my hip joint, on top of my femur, and I'm turning around on my femur, and I've turned all the way around. This foot's not changing. It's just sitting on the ground. I'm just turning on one foot. So I feel the pressure on my kidney point. It's turning around too. I can feel it turning because my whole hip's turning. I can feel it through my calf, through my knee, through my hips. It's all turning around. It's like wringing your towel out. You're wringing all the way around one way. I can feel it inside the hip joint, inside my knee joint, ankle joint. Still standing on my kidney points. All the weight's on kidney point. No weight in the other foot. And I'm facing towards the back. And I'm going to try, in this position, is to tuck my pelvis forward so that I'm not sticking my bum out again. So you don't want to get to here. You don't want to get to here and be sitting there like that. Yeah, you want to tuck it underneath and sit that way, so it's nice and straight. So avoid, I just got to do so the easy way, yeah, that. You don't want that. You don't want to be sitting like that, you want to be sitting forward and relaxing. Cool? Very good. So once we've done that posture, we've gone around to that side, we come back when we swap the hands over, and it changes over completely the other way. So if you remember, the side that we're facing, that same side arm is the one that's up in the air. So when we change the other way, it's the other side arms up in the air. We're going to come right around the other way, facing towards the back. Now, same thing again. Tuck your pelvis forward. When you do this, bring your chin back, looking past your hands, and your hands are facing out. Very good. And bring your hands back to the center again, and back to the place we started, which is the original posture. So there's 4 parts to it. So we start off here. We go to one side, we transverse all the way around to the other side, swap the hands over, so now the back hand's the front that's high, and then we come back to the middle stance. Good? And then we bring the foot down, and we're going to go to the other side. We're going to bring up the other foot. Same thing this time. Now we're standing on the left foot. Sorry, we're standing on the right. We were doing the right. We're standing on the right foot with the left foot out. Yep. Same posture. Tuck your elbow down. Bring your chin back, looking past your hands. All the weight's in the back foot. Tuck your hips forward, and then relax. Hold the posture. Good. And then we bring it around. Comes all the way around the open side. So this is the open in the front. So come around the front and swap hands over, facing towards the back. Remember to tuck your pelvis forward. So you're standing on your kidney point. Look past your hands. Look into the distance. Good. Bring your hands around, it goes all the way to the other side. And go right around, so you feel the twist that's happening inside your hip. Tuck your pelvis, chin back, look in the distance. Then come back to the original posture and hold the posture again. Good, and then bring the foot and the hand back in again and come back to double weighted again into the centre. So that's the exercise, but we're going to go back and I'm going to show you a few pieces to that, a few more extra pieces about what's happening inside the exercise. Now, one of them, we talked about the hips. As we're turning, as we go into the side, we're turning our hip around. Our hip's going to go from the stop, it's going to go all the way around to one side, our hip's turn to that way, and then our hip's going to go all the way around and it's going to twist all the way the other way. So in theory, with your femur joint, your femur joint, you're going to twist it all around one way, and then you're going to twist it all around the other way. Of course, it's pulling all the ligaments and tendons that hold the hip joint together, and all the muscles that are attached to all of that is all moving it one way, and it's moving the other. So you're stretching all these different parts. You'll notice after you do this exercise, when you walk, how much more freedom you have in your hips, because it's lengthened all the ligaments, tendons in your hips. It's such a great exercise for that. The big thing is remember to tuck your pelvis, and that's not an easy thing to do when you're standing on one leg and you're facing backwards. But if you go there and just sort of tuck it forward slightly, you'll feel it move. You'll feel it forward. You'll feel the hips slightly roll forward. They roll forward at the same time as holding the posture. Yep. And then change thing when it comes around, keep it tucked underneath and go right to the other side. But when you get to the other side, because your posture will slightly change, go back to reconfirm the tuck, but make sure when you tuck your pelvis, you relax afterwards. Don't tuck it and hold the tension. Tuck it, relax, and then relax. So you take that tension out of the arms. Back to the front, down. When we go to the back, the next time we're going to do it again. But when we go to the back this time, and we've gone into the posture, we go all the way to the back. When you get here, you're going to go deeper into the stance, and how we're going to do that with a breath pattern. So we're going to take a breath in, feel the body expand, and as we breathe out, we're going to twist further on your femur, and we're going to twist further around in your body. So you're going to go further around, yeah? So I'll exaggerate it so you can see it. So take a breath in, and then breathe out, and then twist on your femur. So you're twisting on the one leg. Yeah, take a breath in again. Breathe out, twist on the leg. Good. Take a breath in again. Breathe out, twist on the leg, and you'll get to a certain place where you just can't twist anymore because there is just no more flexibility. But you'll find how much you'll get a lot deeper than you thought you were. Then we come around, swap hands to the other side, and we'll do the same thing on the other side where we breathe in. We just get to the posture first, and take a breathe in. Breathe out and relax, and then move further around into the posture. Good. Then take a breath in. Breathe out, relax, go further into the posture. Breathe in, relax. Breathe out, relax, and go further into the posture. So you can feel the twist as the body twists. And then relax and breathe, come back around to the front. And we do the same thing, we're holding the breath and relax. Take a breath in. Breathe out, relax. And you'll feel the body, the energy of the body sinking down as the gravity's pulling your body, and as your body's relaxing, you can feel the energy moving down inside of you, yeah? And we'll do the same to the other side. So we get into now we're doing, I don't use like the term passive stretching, but it's like that. You're stretching the muscles, and then once you get to a certain posture, then you just relax. And as soon as you relax, of course, you can go further. And you'll build and bang into the tension again, you sit the tension, and relax with that tension, and then you can go further again. And you're learning how to stretch inside a relaxed state instead of pushing yourself against the tension or pushing yourself against something that's resisting. You want to resist, you want to relax first, so that when you're pushing, there's no resistance. It's moving because it's relaxed, and it'll go a certain place and then stop, and then relax again, and then you'll feel, I can keep going a bit further. But you will get to a place where you can't move any further. That's where you'll get stuck. And that's okay, because that's just where it is, because the body can only articulate certain places. Now, everybody, of course, is different. So everybody's going to be able to go. Some people are going to be turning around, and they're going to be sitting there, and they'll be probably about 3/4 of the way facing back over there somewhere, because some people are very, very... There was that guy... I saw a video the other day of a guy walking, and he could turn his head right around. And he was walking backwards... He was walking backwards, but his head was facing the same direction he was walking. Have you seen that sound good? And the guy, he had his head like that, and his head completely round, so it was facing that way. And he was walking backwards, and he had his head facing the back. like completely back. It was the weirdest thing. I don't know where I sort of could have been on YouTube or something. I don't know. And the guy was walking and go, huh? And he was walking, and people just trying to double take, because how's he doing that? But he was actually walking backwards. But he was looking when he was walking. It's bizarre. Anyway, moving on. So some people have a lot of flexibility in their body. So when they come around and do these exercises, their flexibility in their hips a lot. So they can go a long way around. This is not a competition. This is to do it so you're learning how to stretch all the ligaments, tendons in your joints, especially in the two big ones, which are two femur joints, with huge big joints. They're the biggest sockets in the body. And so they're the piece that you want when you're 80 years old. You still want to have that flexibility in your hips, and your hips are still free, and there's no tension and there's no blockages, and they're not loose as such that they're floppy loose, but they're loose, and so the body has a lot of flexibility, because we remember when it's soft and relaxed, when the hips are relaxed, then what happens is the energy moves smooth, so you'll still get the energy going up and down the legs. You won't get it cut off, but the tension around your hips will start stopping the chi and the blood travelling through, and then you start getting sore legs and sore knees and things, yeah? So that's one of the things we want, and that's why we do the exercise, the stretching exercise of the legs every time. So it's the same thing. You don't want to lose the use of your legs. We only have one car, and this car has sets of tyres, and we want to have the tyres last as long as we can. I'm not sure if that's the right analogy, but that'll do. Anyway, so we'll start off, we'll do the three. We'll do sets of 3 breaths. Breathe in, breathe out, and remember to relax on the in-breath, relax on the out-breath. Yeah, normally we talk about relaxing on the out-breath. We want to relax on the in-breath as well. I'll talk you through it anyway. So start from the posture. Change the weight onto the left, stepping off with the right. Go to heel first, then you lower your toe to the ground. Good, and then bring both hands up. And then sit down with both palms facing towards the front. Good, and then relax. Very good. Bring your chin back. Look without looking. Remember to tuck your pelvis forward and relax. Have all the weight on your foot, on your kidney points. So you're basically standing on one leg. You're not standing on 2, you're standing on 1. Yeah, the other one's just sitting on the ground. Good. And then take a breath in, and as you breathe out, let the whole body relax. Now I want you to relax and breathe in. Relax first, and then breathe in. Feel the body expand. Relax and feel the body. And breathe in. So we want to feel the energy. We're breathing in and out energy outside of ourselves. So as we breathe in, we relax, the whole body expands. As we breathe out, our body contracts and the energy goes back out. So our body's like a pair of lungs, and it's our bodies breathing in and out, not just our lungs. Our lungs are breathing in and out oxygen, but our body is breathing in and out energy. And so we have this feeling of the whole body expanding, contracting as we do that, yeah, from that posture. Cool. Then we come around to the side. And we face towards the back. Good. Steady on the kidney point. Tuck your pelvis. Look past your hands. Take a breath in. Relax, breathe out, and go further into the stance. Go further around. Good. Then relax, breathe in. Relax, breathe out. Good. Relax, breathe in. Relax, breathe out. Good. Come back around to the front. Swap hands over. Go all the way around to the other side. Good. Take a breath in. Breathe out, relax. We'll relax first and then breathe out. Relax, breathe in. Relax, breathe out. Relax, breathe in. Relax, breathe out. Good. Come back to the normal stance where we started. Good. Relax, breathe in. Relax, breathe out. Tuck your pelvis forward, looking straight ahead, bar past your hands. That's it, good. Relax, breathe in. Relax, breathe out. One more time. Relax, breathe in. Relax, breathe out. Good. Now you'll be quite happy to get off that foot by now, I'd imagine. Bring your foot in, and you're going to change foot and you go, yeah, and then you move the weight and you go, oh, yeah, it feels good. Now we're going to stand on the other leg now. And that leg now goes sitting there with all the pins and needles running in the leg and all the pain just slowly dissipates out of that leg. And we hold the posture, take a breath in, and then breathe out. Relax, breathe in. Relax, breathe out. One more time. Relax, breathe in. Relax, breathe out. Good. Come around to the open side, swap the hands over. Good. Relax, breathe in. Take your pelvis forward and relax. And relax, breathe out. Go deeper into the stance. Good. Relax, breathe in. Relax, breathe out. Relax, breathe in. Relax, breathe out. Good, then come on the other side. Breathe out as you come around. Right around the other side. Good, relax, breathe in. Tuck your pelvis. Relax, breathe in. Relax, breathe out. Relax, breathe in. Relax, breathe out. Okay, then bring it right to the front. Back to the original stance. Relax, breathe in. Take your bum forward, take your pelvis forward, relax. Breathe out. Relax, breathe in. Relax, breathe out. Relax, breathe in. Relax, breathe out. Then bring the hands down. And rest. Good. So we've been doing the movements of how we move from side to side, or what initiates the movement. So when we're standing in the posture, originally, right from the very start, we have to transfer the weight from one side, because we're standing 2 feet. We have to transfer the weight from one side, we move it across to the other foot, so we can get the other foot off the ground. Otherwise, if you don't do that, you can't lift the leg up. You can't get the leg off the ground if you don't take the weight off it. And there's any weight, even if there's 1% of weight on it, you still can't get it off the ground because there's weight, you can't get it up. You've got to take it off so there's 100% so you can pick it up. Otherwise, you just can't get it off the ground. It's interesting. Even a millionth of a weight in it, you still can't lift it off because you can't get it off the ground if you're not completely weighted on the other side. Yep. You have to do that so you can pick it up. Yep. And I mean, double weighted as a millionth, you have to be 100% weighted on one leg before you can get the other one off. If you've got any weight on the other leg, you can't get it up. It's so difficult. Now, there are people, of course, there's always exceptions that all can do that in a different way, but generally, you have to get 100% weight off the foot before you can pick it up. If you have 1% of weight in it, it's not that it's heavy, it's just you just can't get it off the ground because of the energetic connection. You just can't lift it up until you take the weight off it completely, so there's no weight bearing on that foot. So once we've done that, so that the move from one side to the other, the initial movement happens from the standing still, which we're double weighted. To move to one side, you have to relax first. You relax the posture and then the body can move to one side. If you don't, of course, if you stay, because we have a certain rigidity to hold us up, we talked about this, the rigidity holds you up. You actually have to let that rigidity relax so you can move, otherwise the rigidity will stop there. You can hold the rigidity, okay, move, and the body goes, yep, well, I can't move until you relax. Because I'm locked you here. As soon as I relax, then the body can move across. And that relax is the trigger for the energy to start moving. As soon as you relax, the body moves to one side. And then, of course, when the body turns, the body turns and it brings the foot forward. Yep. The hands come up as we inflate. Of course, we breathe in. The hands come up and we breathe out and we turn the hands over so the palms are facing towards the front. Now, we'll go through the detail of this on next Tuesday. When we do the next one, we'll talk more about the energetic movement of this exercise, because we need to get from here to there, and we need to work out how our body's doing that movement from there to there, where you're not doing it and the energy is doing it for you. And we'll talk about that on Tuesday next week, about how we actually do that. Yep, and what's happening inside the body to create that movement from the side. We're pretty sure we know what's going to happen to come back because we know we've twisted our hips right around, so we can just relax and it's going to untwist itself and it'll come back. But how do we get it there when we're not doing that? How do we wind it up? How do we turn that around energetically? We'll talk about that as a Thursday. So some of you people I'm seeing on the weekend for a start of our 200-hour course. Our next 200-hour in October, it's the 5th one we've done now, and I know some of you, this is your 5th one, you're going to do another one. So I just want to encourage you to, if you've never done a refresher trainings are great. It's where you can come along and do the whole course again, and if you've already done the 200 hours, you get to do another one, and you pay a refresher fee, whatever it is, and you get, but the good piece is you get to come back in the community and you get to train for 9 weeks, and every weekend you get to train with each other twice a week. Plus we have the Q&As together, but it's such a great way to reconnect to all the people. And it's a great time. We have a great time. It's like a reunion every time we come back to one of these. And I know, Mark, I know you're doing it. And so it's like you come back into that fold and you know all the people, and the questions are getting bigger and bigger and larger. And it's just a really nice place. I can't encourage you enough to be part of that community that comes together every time we do a course for 9 weeks. And comes back together again for the 9 weeks for the reunion. I say it's a reunion because it's almost like that. We have the first Q&A, everybody's saying hello to each other. It's just really lovely. But what it does is every time you go back, even though you've done the exercises before, even though you've done the Shu exercises thousands of times, every time when you come back it's slightly different because you've changed. And I always cue them slightly different as well. I never cue them the same way. Well, I sometimes say the same thing, but I'm also talking about other things. So they're never the same. They're always slightly different. So I encourage, because I know a lot of people watch these classes, I encourage you to go back into, you'll be surprised what you get the next time you do it, even though they're the same exercises. You will experience them differently every time. And I know Mark said that every time. He says he's done 4 of them, and he says every time I do them, they're always completely different. And I'm speaking for him, but I know he could say that himself. And so I encourage you, because it's a great way to keep up your own practice. It's a great way to get back into that practice again. And as I say, it's a great way to connect with all the people in this class anyway. But anyway, I'm just saying that as an encouragement, because I think it's a great community at the moment. I really enjoy. It's just like, as I say, getting together and chatting with everybody. It's fantastic. So I'm sure we'll see some faces on the course. If I don't see you, then I'll see you on Tuesday next week, and we'll do the Bagua, which is the next posture after that one, and the Zhan Zhuang Qigong. Yep. Have a beautiful weekend. Lovely. It didn't rain. The sun's out now, but never mind. We weren't to know. Go the weather. Roll back on your thumbs. If you have any questions about these exercises, please ask as well. And thank you for all the people who are coming to watch this afterwards. If you have any questions about this, please just message me anytime. Send it to info@ForestRock. That gets to me. And I'll give you an answer about it if you have any questions about them. You're very welcome. Go on. Very good. And step back, bow to everybody, including all the people that are going to come watch this afterwards. Very cool. Have a beautiful weekend. Lots of love and care. And for some people, I'll see you on Saturday. Well, I won't see you on Saturday morning. I'll see you on Monday morning. I think it starts this weekend, but I think it actually officially starts Monday morning, the first class. And I'll see you at the, what do I call them? The meet and greet for the course, where everybody comes in and we chat to each other about all the new people, and we'll talk a little bit how the course is run anyway on Monday. See you then, and not before. Bye-bye.